So many people are looking at the formulas for these derivative rules, and I don't like it. You gotta learn the words. It makes it so much easier. You don't have to write as much down if you just have the words memorized in your brain. Please look at the words. In fact, I'm not even gonna write the formula out for this one. I'm just going to say the words. So the quotient rule is you use it when you're dividing two functions. So, there you go. Use the quotient rule when taking the derivative of a quotient of two functions. That means if I want to find d dx dd of f of x divided by g of x. If I have a quotient. If I'm dividing, if I have a fraction. That's what it means. Quotient means divide. Okay, so here we go. First example, maybe the only example. Actually, no, I should tell you. The quotient rule. What is the quotient rule? So the quotient rule will, this is the way I want you to remember it. It kind of rhymes, low d high minus high d low, all over low squared. The way I learned it when I was in college was low d high over high d low. No, that wasn't it. I just got too excited. Low d high minus high d low, square to the bottom and away we go. That's what, no. Like Hoedown from Whose Line. So let me write that. Now, I'm not going to show a proof of this. If you want me to show you in class, I'd be happy to. It's kind of cool. You can use the product rule to do this, actually, and it's quite cool. But right now, low d high minus high d low all over low squared. And what do I mean by this? I mean the lower function. So the long way to remember is the lower function times the derivative of the higher function minus the higher function times the derivative of the lower function all over low squared. I'm not going to make you write that out, but just low function times the derivative of the high function minus the high function times the derivative of the low function all over the low function squared. That's all you're doing. That's it. That's it. M and the D. That's it? Yeah, that's it. That's it. So, let's do maybe the only example. For this, I'm not going to make you draw the graph, but please do write that. Write this. I won't make you draw the graph. I'll just tell you specific things to write down for it. Okay, let's begin with this. Okay, the function f has a graph displayed below, while the function g is given by the rule. Oh, g is a piecewise function. Why did I pick this? Maybe it's because you guys have trouble with piecewise functions. So make sure you write that. So what do we got? Well, if f of x is defined to be that, then what is the derivative of negative f prime? What is the derivative of f when you plug in -4? All right. Ah, shoot. I'm going to have to write down the stuff. Okay, here we go. I didn't want to do this, but oh well. F prime, then, maybe you should pause it and then see. Remember when you take the derivative of a function? Whoops. When you take the derivative of a function, you use the prime if you don't have the formula for it. So I'm going to do this. The f prime of x, that's low, so that's g of x, low, d high, so the derivative of the top function, that's f prime, low d high minus high f of x, d low, that's the derivative of that one. So low d high minus high d low all over low squared, g of x squared. Whoops. I'm just going to put that in parentheses. So there we go. Oh, okay. All right. I didn't want to write down that, but there you go. What are we doing now? Okay. Well, we're plugging in -4. So I got to plug in a -4, -4, -4, -4, -4. Now G is represented by the piecewise function. So G, regular G of -4. Well, where does -4 fall? It falls into this part. So I have to use this. Negative 4 squared. Should I write that? I guess I will. Negative 4 squared plus 3 times negative 4 times f prime. Now, f prime of, I'll write this in green. F prime of negative 4. That value I want you to write down, because you're not going to have the graph unless you want to draw the graph. But f prime of negative 4. Well, negative 4 is there. So that's that point, except for I'm looking at the slope. Remember, that means the slope of f when x is negative 4. So that's a 0. That's going to equal 0. So I'm going to times it by 0. I need to move this. I'll move it over there. Okay. So, times 0 minus f of negative 4. What is f of negative 4? I go over, that's just the y value of 8. So I'll say minus 8, the hand of minus, times g prime of negative 4. Oh my goodness. Well, we got to go to our function. Remember this, the way you do piecewise functions. You see where the x falls. Okay, that's here. So I have to take the derivative of this. Well, that derivative is 2x plus 3. That's the derivative there. I'll say derivative. You should write that down too. So then we'll plug in 4, or negative 4, sorry. So that would be what? Negative 8 plus 3. That's a 3. That doesn't look good. That still doesn't look good. Negative 8 plus 3. So it would be negative 8 plus 3. Well, that's just negative 5. Right? Let me double check. Yeah, we're good. Low d high minus high d low all over low squared. So g, now I have to do g of negative 4. Regular g of negative 4. And remember, if I plug in, did I already do that? Yes, I did. That's whatever that is. Well, let's see what that is. 4 squared, or negative 4 squared is 16. So this will be 16 minus, right? Minus 12. Because that churned the butter. So that'll be, what, 16, 6, that'll be 4. And we got to square it, right? We got to square it. So this is actually divided by 16. So squared. And what do we get? All right, let's simplify. We got 4, well, that's 0. That goes to 0, right? That whole thing. So that's gone. That's nice. It's always nice when things go to 0. Plus, right, because it's going to be plus. So plus 40 divided by, looks like 16. I hope I'm doing this right. Otherwise, I'm going to have to find my mistake and then do it all over. 40, so let's reduce that. I can divide by 4, that's for sure. This will be 10 over 4, divide by 2. And that'll be 5 over 2. Yeah, I remember that was the answer. Cool. Hopefully that makes sense. And that made a long video. But there's only one example. Low d high minus high d low all over low squared. Memorize that, please. Please, I'm begging you. Please memorize it. So, that's all. That's all she wrote. Why did we not use this side? Well, we're plugging in negative 4. Right? Negative 4 is over here. So we're not going to take the slope of this unless we're plugging in like positive 4 or 5 or something like that. So there you go. Have a good day.